there guys, welcome back to another awesome video, and it's time for another movie review. And today's movie review is going to be of Cruella. So Cruella is the latest live-action Disney movie, and this movie is the prequel to Cruella de Vil, how she became Cruella de Vil. Kind of like with Maleficent, with Angelina Jolie, how that told the story of how Maleficent became Maleficent. This movie tells how Cruella became Cruella. So I don't remember who this was directed by, but little known interesting fact is this was produced or executively produced by Glenn Close, she was the first live action Cruella de Vil in a way, and definitely one of the more iconic ones. And definitely when you think of Cruella de Vil, you either think of the animated version or you think of Glenn Close. And so now Emma Stone puts her hat into the ring and she's the latest Cruella. And I gotta say, I will give this movie this. Although, I'm not a huge fan of Maleficent. I hated that movie. I didn't like the approach that Disney did with it. And there was so much wasted potential, and plus the things they do were very stupid with it. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, there was tapped potential, but it wasn't tapped in. It was untapped at all. So, but at least with this movie, I will say there is a bit of it seemed like with this movie, they wanted to be a little bit more riskier for several things, because this movie, I will say, it's both good and bad. That right out the gate, this movie feels like several different films. It feels like Devil Wears Prada, it feels like Oliver Twist, it feels like Joker, it feels like all those three films rolled into one. Now, that kind of is a good thing, because why that's a good thing is this feels like Disney at least tried to make an attempt to do something a little bit different, maybe be a little bit risky, because there is a bit of material and a bit of subject matter in there that you wouldn't really get in a live action Disney movie or in a really recent Disney movie. I will give that movie credit. I will give the movie that credit. However, the problem with it being compared to Devil Wears Prada meets Oliver Twist meets Joker meets any of the Oceans movies, so Oceans 11, Oceans 12, Oceans 13, Oceans 8, any of those Oceans movies, the problem with that is it's going to be compared to those films, and that it doesn't feel as original. Although for a Disney live action movie, it does lend itself, like I said, to a little bit of risk. And the one thing that definitely I will give not only the risk and a little bit of some of the creativity of this movie some credit, the other thing I want to definitely give tons of credit to is our main leads, Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. These two just really working off each other very well. And the funny thing is that Emma Thompson has some various moments where she feels like a more eviler version of Cruella de Vil. Like, she feels like a more Cruella de Vil than Cruella de Vil, pretty much. And so it's almost like Emma Stone and Emma Thompson are at like this competitive one-upping each other of who could be the most devious, the most nastiest, the most cruelest of them all type of, I guess, dynamic going on. I mean, the supporting cast is fine. There's the actors who play Horace and Jasper, who they do their parts fine. The dogs they use for this movie are really cute, like the one Chihuahua or one Pomeranian that's called Wink. I thought that was kind of adorable. There's one other character named Artie, who I feel like he's that one character from 100, like that 101, I think, sequel with Martin Short. I can't remember what it is. I know it's a sequel to 101 Dalmatians. It's an animated movie, and it had Martin Short play a character that Cruella de Vil knew. And I feel like that Artie character might have been that character. I really don't remember, but I do like that there was that character. He seemed a lot of fun, and especially with the approach they went with him, for sure. So there was definitely tons of fun they did there. But the main carrying of this movie in terms of the performances is Emma Thompson and Emma Stone. However, their performances are great. I will say that. It's the story that I feel it works, but at the same time it doesn't work. Because for me, it's kind of a little odd that it feels weird that Cruella de Vil kind of, like, she's not really Cruella de Vil. It's kind of like this persona she's created. And that there's Ella and then there's Cruella. And I mean, I get what they're trying to go for, a little bit different, and they don't want to keep basically doing the same thing over and over again. And like I said, I want to give Disney a little bit of that credit, but there are some things that they put in here that they don't feel right at times, and some of the things do feel a little bit cliche, and some things do feel unexpected, but for the most part, some things do feel a little bit like cliche-ish. I will give the movie this too. It is very stylish, and that also adds a lot of creativity there too. And it does, and like I said, the comparisons that I did make do lend itself to a lot of creativity that Disney can do with it, and they do it fine. It's not like they do anything better than any of those films I named before, but you can't help but compare those films. That's kind of like the upside of things, but at the same time, it's their downfall. So it's kind of like a mixed thing on why this whole comparison works. But like I said, the whole, like, the new things they add do work, but they don't work because there's some things that are a bit, like, they do feel cliche, and some other things that happen in the film that really just kind of feel a little bit weird. And then there's some scenes in particular that just, you kind of feel like they had to put that in there. Like, there's one scene in particular that just makes no sense at all, pretty much at the end of the movie. And they just they put that in there because basically we have to have this happen. Like, we're setting up, like, basically the 101 Dalmatians movie that you see later on. Like I said, I don't mind some of the things that Disney did with this movie. It definitely did this, I guess, quote-unquote, origin a little bit better than, say, how Maleficent was approached. I will give that movie tons of credit. The soundtrack is killer. I loved the soundtrack for this movie. Say what you will about it, even if it does get annoying, I loved how catchy the soundtrack was. I mean, it's got a nice head bob to it. The setting and the costumes and the costume designs are very phenomenal too. So you definitely, I'm giving that credit where it's due. But in the long run, I just found myself finding the good, the bad, and the ugly in this movie. So I'm gonna give Cruella, I'm gonna be a little nice and say I'm gonna give Cruella a C+. So, Cruella, have you guys seen it? What did you think of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash that button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell. I do new videos every day, if not every week. Share the video with family and friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave some suggestions in the comment section of movie reviews, top 10s, maybe some gaming ideas, all sorts of other video ideas. You name it, I'll look into it. And also leave some questions in there too, so that way I can get a Q&A going, because hopefully if I get enough questions, I will then do a Q&A. So that's what I really would like to do, along with some more movie reviews coming your way. There'll be some TV shows coming your way. So I don't know when there will be, but there will be TV show reviews, probably like after October, because I'll probably start watching things like Hawkeye. I'll do a review for What If, maybe Loki, cover those before the Multiverse of Madness happens. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.